Welcome back to the Podcast to End All podcast. This is TSX with the So-Called Experts. I'm Phil Davis from the Washing Line, and you, my friend.
I'm Rafe Griffin, I believe.
Yes, I believe you are.
We may have gone national over the weekend, is that right? With certain references from a certain high-profile coach come
we did.
Commentator.
A certain high-profile former A-League midfielder, Mr. Warren Moon, mentioned us, or past reference to us, on the commentary for the Brisbane Roar versus Sydney FC ABC national game on the weekend.
We can retire now.
We can. Well, all right. Okay, well, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
He was very good too. And I say that in all honesty. If he was better than... I listened to a lot of A-League games on a Friday night when I was working afternoon shift, and they get in sort of, a lot of people to fill in, and Paul Wade was the best, but Mooney was better than a lot of them. Brisbane, mate. Brisbane. Hey?
And we should point out we're not on the deck today.
We're not on the deck. We're in the sumptuous surrounds of the Mitchelton Football Club, surrounded by some terrific... I remember those coloured jerseys when they were in the Premier League. I remember seeing them play. And
yeah, well, that's good for the people listening on radio, isn't it?
Well, I'm just telling them. They play. I remember seeing them get beat by South at South. That was great.
You might not get out of here live.
Two Vanuatuan players at that time. You can ask them. Anyway, we are here, and of course there were no games on the last weekend, were there, Rafe?
No, there was this little thing called Easter that got in the way. What did you do over Easter? I finally mowed the lawn. I'm
sure you did. That's good. That's a good move. I didn't mow the lawn. I went to Toowoomba briefly. I don't know what else I did. I sat around pining and wishing there was football on. At least 3 or 4 times I went, I might see the score from the early... no games on.
Oh, well, plenty to go around this weekend, though.
You kind of disappeared off the face of the earth, actually. You weren't even on the chat window.
Yeah, I had a weekend off.
We have a special guest for the first time ever, don't we?
Don't know whether he's special or not.
Well,
though.
He's a bit special.
Yeah, he's a bit special.
Yeah, we thought we'd spring it on him and get him on. It's the first time, I believe, since I've been podcast. No, we've had a couple of other people, but we've never had anybody who's not an administrator. Are you an administrator? And he's going, yeah, well, welcome to the show. Ian Judd from FB Media.
Greetings, gentlemen.
Oh, this is kind of like a little boys' club, isn't it?
It is a bit of a loving.
You're going to have to forgive me because I do have the hiccups at the moment. So if I do hiccup,
we'll forgive you. Well, the reason we've got you on is because we're going to ask you about FB Media. Is that all right?
It's fine by me because that's what I do.
Okay, well, let's go back to the beginning. In the beginning, me and Stuart started everything. Then you came along and stole all our ideas. And where did it go from there?
Forwards.
So, no, in all seriousness... how long have you been with FB Media now?
That's a good question. Well, I sort of started out part-time in 2012.
Yeah.
Went full-time last year, 2015, I think. It seems to have gone past pretty quick. Just gone on from there, basically. So,
yep. And are you happy with how far you've come?
Yeah, look, I think we've. As a collective unit, I was, just like football, it's a team game. So, I think we've made advances in the media circle.
In what way? Where have you made
just
advances?
with the coverage, quality of coverage.
That's a very good question. Are you happy with the current quality?
I'm extremely happy with the way we're going and what we've been producing. Yep. I'm always looking to innovate, always looking to try and improve upon it, and we'll continue to do that.
Good. You're not going to get the sack then.
I don't think so.
Beginning to sound like a performance assessment.
Yes.
Now, one of the things that...
How many sick days did you have last year?
I think last year I was pretty good, actually.
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah.
Now, one of the things that Brendan Boss was talked about at the season launch was that he was pretty proud of the number of games that have been covered and will be covered this year. And one of the... revolution, one of the new things, one of the new tools.
Be revelation, maybe?
Revelation, that's a good way to describe it. We've got this thing called a telly tower now.
We have.
What's that going to allow FB Media to do?
Telly tower, for all those listeners out there that don't know, is a telescopic scaffold.
Uh-huh.
And that basically gives us a height of around 3.5 metres, 4 metres filming height. Yeah. And the beauty of it is it's fully portable, it's pretty lightweight, and our lovely cameraman Sean can get it into his car somehow. I don't quite know how he's managed to do that, but he has. And the importance of it is it means that we can go to pretty much any ground in Brisbane and cover any game.
So those limitations of not having a filming platform or needing to getting a cherry picker or something in, hopefully...
Those days are gone.
Yeah.
So when you say it's 3.5 or 4 metres, don't you actually know how tall it is?
Well, the actual platform is 2.5 metre height, and probably with the tripod and the camera set to about metre and a half gives us up to 4 metres filming height.
So what you really need is Rafe to do the camera work, or perhaps Darren, someone really tall.
Either or bigger tripod.
Or a bigger tripod. Some milk crates. Of course, FB Media, a lot of people follow it. I think pretty much everyone in the football community does. People are always saying to me, well, you know, you're doing a great job. Do I say that to you, Rafe?
Oh, absolutely.
Of course I do. Where are we looking to heading forward?
Oh, look, I think it's, well, I mean, I think as you guys can probably appreciate, the video arena has certainly boomed over the last couple of years.
Yep.
And that seems to be a very popular format. You know, I mean, even just some of the smaller clubs, you know, sort of looking forward to getting filmed and kind of almost expect it at times, you know, which obviously just having one cameraman to service us over the weekend does sort of limit the amount we can do, but we do try and do as much as we can.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, look, we'll just continue to do whatever coverage we can within our budgets. It's probably you know, on the political side of things, that the budget's always one that we've got to try and follow and adhere to.
There's a rumour that you haven't opened your wallet since 1973. Is this true?
No, I did it once in 1986.
You bought a coffee last week, didn't you?
I did.
You paid for it?
I did.
Jeez.
And a bottle of water.
And a bottle. We paid for a bottle of water. Wow, aren't we moving forward? Do you think that... this is my perception. I think that we were the first... Brisbane community really adapted well to the new era with the media. And do you think that the actual community's taken well to it?
Yeah, I think so. Look, I think we're well, you know, we sort of seem to be well received wherever we go.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's probably the key indicator for me. Is like, you know, whenever the guys see us when we turn
up. Do you get people annoyed at you?
Very rarely.
Yeah.
I could name names, but I won't.
Yeah.
But occasionally on the rare moment, it does happen, as Rafe can attest to.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Rafe? You get people annoyed at you around the grounds? Not really?
No, I've made of Teflon.
Yeah, well, but do people still throw stuff at you and it doesn't stick?
No one's ever thrown stuff at me.
Yeah, no, I occasionally
I don't
get
think you'd want to throw too much at Rafe. I mean, he's a big chap.
I'm a big target,
I don't think
though.
he's the sort of guy...
You wouldn't miss.
You maybe not, but you don't want to really get on his bad side, do you?
The thing that I found is that this shirt makes me a target. Rather than people saying, oh, look, Juddy's a crap editor or something, you know, the kind of things you'd expect. I usually get people going, my under-7 Division 4 team didn't have a referee last week. And I go, oh, I don't know anything about that. That's slightly out of my jurisdiction. All I do is write and talk. So anyway,
well, there is a key to that, Phil. We'll give you a little secret. It's called a media pass, and you get inside the fence line, and then you can leave your line. Yeah,
well, that's right. But I like hanging out with the real people. So you're not going to reveal anything that you might be on the horizon, anything like that?
No. Look, I think
any changes coming? Can you give us just a hint? There might be changes coming.
No changes this year. We're sort of sticking to the format we did last year, and that seems to be working at this stage.
So one thing that you got to experience last year, you and Phil, was going to Adelaide for the FFA Cup. That must have been a bit of a joy, something different to get in a different environment on the national stage and see how others do it?
That was an experience I won't forget in a long time. It was good to travel with the team, but no, it's a great experience. It was good. It was good. It was good to see probably a higher level behind the scenes as to what went on. It was just a good pleasure to be down there and get to cover that. Yeah,
look, from my point of view, it was just fantastic hanging out with opposition supporters that were from a different state, because in a sense there was a different mindset. Croydon Kings used to be Polonia, so there is kind of a ethnic base there, and they're very, very devout to their side. You know, the supporters who were behind the goal, where I spent quite a great deal of the game, they were really into it, and they had the shirts, the scarves, the beanies and all that. It was, and it was also good just hanging around the hotel and watching there's a lot of, I would imagine, I know you hear this all the time, but I would imagine there's a lot of boredom in being a professional footballer. Because the Lions players in the afternoon before the game, they were just like, I could see them, they were like, what do we do now?
Yeah,
we can't keep eating.
Sitting around, there's only so many sort of physio massages you could probably so I think I agree with Phil, there's probably an element there that not too many people be too envious of. All
right, well, I think that's enough covering with
enough navel gazing. We should probably...
Enough navel gazing. Let's talk about football coming up this weekend. We are, more importantly, going to see if Ian Judd knows anything about football, as well as video editing, writing, taking photographs and hobnobbing.
If ever there was the epitome of a so-called expert. Take no prisoners here. Welcome aboard.
I'm still sticking to just the two Muppets on the
All right,
image.
well, we might as well predict. Tonight we're at Mitchelton versus Wolves, and I don't think anyone's going to be silly enough to predict Wolves to beat Mitchelton, are they, after they got beat 5-1 last time out by Bayside United?
No, although we did pick up a bit of inside mail that Wolves
while we're waiting for you, Phil, to turn up, we
yes,
did get some insider information.
Wolves have a few imports here.
Oh, really?
And Mitchelton have lost a couple of players, perhaps.
Apparently Lachlan Munner's departed company.
Oh, okay. And, of course, Mitchelton did lose 4-1 last time out.
They did.
They did. They're still going to beat Wolves. Okay, well, let's look at the flights in the Premier League from the weekend coming up. Peninsula versus Capalaba up at AJ Kelly Field. Now, this is going to be an absolute belter. Capalaba showed their true colours last week. 4-1 winners over someone.
Over this club here.
Yeah, from Mitchelton, that's right. And Peninsula, of course, well, they're in 9th place and they've got 3 draws to their name, 1 win and 1 loss, which is just not good enough, is it?
No.
The tide has to turn soon, doesn't it?
Oh, look, for me, it's Mendy and Furigal start scoring goals as well as Cato, and I think they're going to rock it away, but at the moment, they don't score enough, do they?
Personally, I just think it's got draw written all over it.
Oh, you think it's got draw written all over it? I'll write draw all over it, actually, with my pen. Draw for Ian Judd. Right, well, I am going to tip the draw as well on that one. What are you thinking, Rafe?
I'll be brave and go Peninsula.
Yeah, that's not that brave. Let's be honest.
Well, it's better than you two going with draw.
Brave is going for Capalaba. Okay, the next game of the round, which should be another beauty as well. It's been a great season so far. Logan FC at home at Cornelia Park versus Holland Park Hawks. Hawks struggling with a few injuries, and they didn't look really up to the task last week either, did they?
Well, if ever there was a side that probably needed the Easter break.
Yeah.
I can concur that, being out there for that game. I was having a bit of a chat to Benny Ryan, and I think he was very welcoming of the break coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had... oh, God.
They had 3 defenders. They had Dan Smith.
Dan
Mathers.
Smith was rested for that game for the purpose of having that couple of weeks off.
Yeah.
Hopefully with him to return this week. So, but got a couple of other guys. Hopefully that they could come back this week. So I say.
Yeah, of course, the other game, Logan versus Rochdale, I was out there. Logan were just not up to the task. They were soundly beaten by Rochdale. The 2-1 scoreline was not relevant to the actual pitch, the actual performance, rather. Logan will need to perform, will need to improve massively if they're going to beat Holland Park Hawks. Just before we move on to did you have subtitles when you were talking to Ben? I
probably had to slip into my English, the English background there.
I chat to him online all the time, and I'm glad, because in the real life it's much more difficult. Logan versus Holland Park. Give us your verdict there, Rafe.
Logan at home.
Logan at home. You're going to tip Logan?
I would just like to add that that's our feature game this week.
It is our feature game this week. I didn't know that.
We get to see exactly how that one turns out, and I'm going to probably plump for a draw yet again.
You're going to go for a draw? Okay, I am going to go for the home side to win that one.
Can we make a rule?
What?
No draws.
No, can't make that rule. Silly. Soccer.
All right.
Go and follow the AFL.
All right.
The next one, this is very interesting. Albany Creek beat Holland Park. Lions, of course, they are still the short price favourites to take the title. Fair enough?
I believe so.
You can't nod on radio, Johnny.
It just took a few moments there for the brain to link up with the mouth.
I don't think anyone would disagree. Well, except for Darren, but what does he know about football? Not much.
Well, he's a Manchester City supporter, so there you go.
Yeah, in case you hadn't worked it out, if you're not here to defend yourself.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And if we don't invite you on, you never get in.
So 0-0 draw for Lions last start, of course, against Peninsula.
Yeah.
You'd fancy they'd score some goals here against Albany Creek.
So, but Albany Creek they're a bit of a joker in the pack, really. I mean,
I'm heading out to that one, and Lions actually struggled, to be honest, last time out.
So we're all tipping Lions?
I think they're just going to narrowly take it.
Okay.
But I think it's going to be a lot tighter than many think.
Yeah, Lions by 2.
I've got 2 people who'd like to sit on the fence, and I'm sure they will at some point. Everyone's tipping the Lions to win that one. This next game is the one I'll be at Heath Park on Saturday night. East versus Rochdale. Rochdale very good last week. East, well, they were a bit shaky to beat North Pine 4-3, but they did beat North Pine 4-3. They are third. They've got some quality players. Carter Glockner is probably the standout performer in the league at the moment.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know, I mean, if you're thinking of players that, other clubs would be chasing if they could, they'd be chasing Carter Glockner, wouldn't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm going to tip Rochdale to win. What do you guys think?
I'm actually going to go with you on that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm going to agree and go Rochdale on that one.
Oh, well, there you go. What about you there, Rafe?
Draw.
Okay, Well, this next one... This next one has got draw written all over it. Ipswich Knights versus North Pine, and a crucial game for this one. This really is a relegation 6-pointer even after round 5, I think.
Well, it's a 15-pointer for the club championship table, really. Now that...
That's become a real cliche this season, hasn't it?
The 15-pointer?
Yes. Knights versus North Pine.
Oh, Knights versus North Pine.
Knights won 4-0 last week.
They did.
They did.
And
as you just touched upon, North Pine held East to the sword there. Yeah. You know, if East didn't score those 2 goals before half-time, who knows what might have happened. Yeah. Ipswich Knights with absolutely no confidence whatsoever.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a draw. So.
Oh, draw for you?
Oh, no, sorry, what am I talking about? It's Ipswich Knights. Sorry.
Have we had upset of the round yet?
There isn't one. Juddy?
No, I'll stick my neck out. Let's go North Pine.
Oh, you're going to go stick your neck out and go for the Gorillas.
I'm even going to go with 2-1 North Pine.
You're trying to get up in their good side, eh?
No.
You're always trying to get on someone's good side. The last game of the round. Here we are in the clubhouse of Mitchelton. It's the local derby against UQFC these days.
Yeah, it's a local derby because they don't have to travel as far. It's a 5-minute drive instead of a 20-minute drive.
Yes. UQFC versus Mitchie, and well, look, Mitchie last week, you know, that was a poor performance, but I suspected they might come up with something like that along the way. We believe they've lost players.
One player, maybe a couple,
Maybe a couple, and but I don't know.
Tough one to call.
No, it's not a tough one for me. I think Yuki's going to get hammered.
I don't know. I think maybe with the week's break and you know, it gives UQ a chance to probably just gather their thoughts a little bit.
Mitchelton have got this game tonight.
Indeed, and that does have a bearing.
At least it's a Sunday game.
It's a Sunday at 6 o'clock. Yep. Look, for me, I think I'm trying to be positive, but I think UQ are probably still chasing all the balls from all the shots last week that they sailed over the goal and down the back of Walton Bridge. I think UQ are done, but I'd love to see them turn around. But 2 4-0 losses in a row, and one of them to Ipswich Knights. Not a good sign. Mitchie will win this one, but sure.
Oh, I'm going to go for a shock draw.
A shock draw. Right, okay.
I'll go with Mitchelton, but I think it'll be closer than what you think.
Okay, shock draw from Judd. It'll be closer than who thinks?
You think?
Oh, look, I think Mitchie will win it easily. There's the games for the weekend. Get out to them if you can. There's lots of other games in the Capital League. Capital Leagues, plenty of really, really good games and all sorts of other good stuff happening, and there's stuff coming up. And thank you, Ian Judd, for being on the show.
That's my pleasure.
That's the only time I'll be nice to you for the rest of the season. I'll quickly run through. According to what we've roughly tipped here, we are tipping that Peninsula Capalaba will draw, Logan will beat Holland Park, Lions will dispose of Albany Creek, Rochdale will beat Easts, Knights will beat North Pine, and we don't know what's going to happen in UQ versus Mitchie because we've got 3 outcomes. we assume it's going to be washed out. We've been the so-called experts this week.
We have.
And we've had the king of the so-called experts on. Thank you. And we'd love to see you around grounds. If you see any of us around and you want to ask us any questions or make any complaints, look for Ian Judd. We will talk to you next week. I'm Phil Davis. Goodbye.